Right now, NBC 26 live at 5, the latest on the terror attack in London. Also, people in northeast Wisconsin weighing in on that tragedy abroad. And crews rescue 3 men and 1 woman from a boat crash in Cat Island. Following up on that terror attack in London from last night, police made a dozen arrests in East London today in connection with the attack that happened last night, in which 7 people died and 48 were injured. Now, the searches of a number of addresses are underway. Local residents expressed their disbelief over the arrest of people from their neighborhood, with one local for Nabi saying he did not connect the arrest with yesterday's attacks at first.
I could see a man on the floor, and there was a lady sitting on one of the stones there, and there were like loads of police cars all the way around, like, you know, anywhere. Obviously there was like they were just standing right next to them, and so first initially I thought it was just one man, and then when I came out in my balcony, I saw 3 more men right next to him lying on the floor, just there, and yeah, and there was just like, and I didn't really think that it was something to do with like what happened last night.
Yeah, I saw one lady was taken away in a wheelchair and been put in an ambulance, and one with a man or woman, but she was covered, so I didn't see the face. And some people outside, a lot of loose people outside. That's it. Yeah.
The 3 assailants drove a van into pedestrians on London Bridge before stabbing people on the street in the nearby Borough Market area. All 3 were shot dead by police at the scene. Now, back here at home, people are reacting to this most recent terrorist attack as well, wondering how some can resort to a life dedicated to killing strangers. NBC 26's Eric Kress joins us live from Insight from a sociologist from right here in northeast Wisconsin. Eric.
The 12 people in London arrested and 3 more shot and killed likely planned this attack for some time. Radicalization, or what others call socialization, takes time and grooming. Now, Britain has been the victim of 3 terrorist attacks in just 3 months. It appears as if they're hitting people when and where they least expect it, which gets the results terrorist organizations are seeking. But the young men and women often recruited for such a horrific task are usually the disenfranchised, the portion of society overlooked and underserved. Recruiting these individuals could be looked at in a similar fashion as those recruited into the world of sex trafficking.
They don't grab strong kids that come from strong families, that come from stable backgrounds. They grab kids that are young, that are vulnerable, that may have some mental health issues, right, that are desperate, and those are the people that you grab, and then you train them.
Now, in the opinion of the sociologists we spoke with, the only real solution to this growing trend of terrorism is a stronger community, one that tries to understand its neighbors. Now, he says a first step to eliminating acts of terrorism is for more people to accept various religious viewpoints so that the argument of us versus them is a thing of the past. Keeping you connected, I'm Eric Kress with NBC 26.
All right, thanks for that report, Eric. Now, less than 25 hours after new terror attacks in London, Ariana Grande is saying the show will go on. Ariana Grande's benefit concert from Manchester is going forward as scheduled today. Her manager, Scooter Braun, in his statement says not only will the show go on, but with greater purpose, and that we must not be afraid. A suicide bomber killed 22 people and wounded dozens more following Ariana Grande's concert at Manchester last month. Several big-name artists, including Justin Bieber, Coldplay, Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus, will all take stage at the benefit concert miles from where the attack happened. Now, protesters in dozens of cities call for an independent commission to investigate the Trump campaign's contacts with Russia. The former FBI director prepares to testify before Congress about his conversations with the president. Kelly O'Donnell reports.
In the shadow of the Washington Monument, demonstrators rally for sunlight, demanding answers and transparency on the Russia investigations that have top advisors of President Trump under scrutiny.
Jeffrey Sessions, Michael Flynn.
From New York to the West Coast, organized as a march for truth. But in front of the White House today, supporters of the president showed up to shout down critics. And in Iowa, Vice President Mike Pence was upbeat.
President Donald Trump is a man of his word.
But words can get in the way. A potential showdown looms between President Trump and the FBI director he fired. James Comey is expected to testify about the Russia investigations and his meeting with the president before the Senate Intelligence Committee.
Hopefully he will bring clarity to this question about what he and the president might have discussed or what the president might have asked him to do, but that's up to him.
But President Trump could intervene with the power of executive privilege to keep Comey from testifying about their private conversations. The trouble is, the president has been tweeting and talking himself, sitting down with Lester Holt.
Did you ask him to drop the investigation?
No, never.
Then taunting Comey by tweet, suggesting he might have, quote, tapes of their conversations. Legal experts say executive privilege is rarely used and may not apply against the fired FBI director because of the president's own actions.
The president has, in all likelihood, waived executive privilege by opening his mouth about the conversations.
Now, parts of the Green Bay area getting hit with storm damage, all from last night. Here's some video from Hoffman Road and East River Street in Alloway. This happened before midnight. As you can see, crews from Wisconsin Public Service were out very late last night in severe conditions, fixing the power lines. Right now, power is back up and running. Well, it is looking much brighter outside than it did last night. We can all agree on that. But is it going to stay like that? So let's find out from Matt Hoffman.
Hey Mo, we do have the chance for a few thunderstorms across the area for tonight, but today another warm one. Look at temperatures right now, 85 in Green Bay, near 90 in La Crosse, 9 degrees right now in the Twin Cities. But the difference from yesterday, much less humid. Dew points in the 50s and 40s as opposed to the 60s to near 70. Right now we are sitting at 85 degrees in Green Bay, breezy west-northwest winds, but we are tracking a few showers and thunderstorms up to the north. The main chances, though, will be mainly to the north and to the east of the Fox Valley. Temperatures tonight falling through the 70s and 60s. We'll talk more about those storm chances tonight coming up.
All right, certainly look forward to that, Matt. Now, the Brown County Sheriff's Office reporting one man is seriously injured from a boat crash on the Fox River. This all happened on the north side of the Cat Island breakwall, just 100 yards west of the shipping channel around 8:30 last night. The Green Bay Metro Fire Department says all boaters should be aware of weather conditions and what's headed their way Saturday evening around the time the ship wrecked.
Keep an eye on your smartphones, keep an eye on the weather, have a weather radio with you to be listening for weather reports for when these storms come in, and be vigilant on coming in early. You know, try not to beat the storms when you see them. By the time you see them, it's too late.
A total of 3 men and a woman were taken to a nearby hospital. 2 men have been treated and released. Speed and alcohol are believed to be a factor. 2 people who were reported missing while canoeing in northeastern Minnesota were found safe, and their rescue was caught here on camera. Minnesota State Patrol officials say the man and woman had not been heard from in 4 days after they were paddling in Boundary Waters canoe area. Officials say pilots were searching near Oyster Lake using their heat-seeking equipment when they located the 2 paddlers. Officials say the pair had used flashlights and had written SOS in the sand to help direct the air crew's attention to their location. The 2 were safely rescued Friday morning and were taken to a hospital in Ely as a precaution. White House officials say there is no decision yet on whether the president plans to assert executive privilege, keeping their legal options open just days before Comey is expected to tell his story. Advisors say the president plans to roll out his plan on infrastructure to keep the king's message on the road to Ohio on Wednesday. And University of Wisconsin-Madison is getting more applications from international students as nearly 40% of colleges across the country report less applications. Campus officials tell the Wisconsin State Journal the university received about 900 more applications to join its fall 2017 class from overseas. Now that's an increase of 14% from the previous year. Enrollment deposits are also up by 5%. UW-Madison officials credit the admission increases to joining the Common Application. That's an application process, they say, which makes it easier for students to discover and apply to the university. Madison Mayor Paul Soglin says he is considering a run against Governor Scott Walker next year. He told the State Journal he was inspired by Bernie Sanders' strong showing in last year's state primary. Soglin did not say when he would make a decision. Governor Walker, though, is expected to seek a 3rd term in office, but has not officially announced it just yet. While still ahead on NBC 26, some Wisconsin football coaches getting some tips from some of the best in the biz. Hear what they took away from the coaches clinic. But first, the weekend is almost up, but what's the weather looking like for the rest of it? Your forecast is next.
You're connected to NBC 26 News at 5 with Regina On, Matt Hoffman Weather, and Chris Barrier Sports. NBC 26 News at 5, keeping you connected. And now, your Storm Shield forecast with NBC 26 Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland.
You'll see Cameron tomorrow night, but here's a look at the forecast, though. For the week ahead, we are going to see the chance, at least, for a few thunderstorms out there this evening and tonight. Not going to be as widespread as last night. Mainly going to be to the north and to the east of the Fox Valley. We're tracking a few storms moving into northern parts of Door County. Nothing severe at this point, but there is the chance that one or two of these could be on the strong to maybe even severe side for tonight. There are some more scattered storms as we head up into the UP and more back off to the north and west from there, thanks to a little weak disturbance that's moving across the upper Great Lakes. There is a marginal risk for Kewaunee, Door County as well up to the north from there that one or two of these storms could be strong to severe overnight. Main threats would be hail up to an inch and wind gust as high as 60 miles per hour. So we'll keep an eye on these as we head through this evening. We'll just have the chance for a few storms, again, mainly to the north of Green Bay even, but even Green Bay could get clipped later tonight with a little bit of rain or a thunderstorm, and then these should come to an end by later tonight into the start of your Monday. Right now, though, it is warm out there, 85 degrees, west-northwest winds at 10 miles per hour in Green Bay. In Appleton, 82 degrees, but you'll notice the dew points much lower in the 40s and 50s, so much more comfortable than what we saw out there yesterday, but very summer-like for sure. 86 degrees right now in Shawano, 84 in Manitowoc, it's 84 in Oshkosh, and 87 in Wapaka. In Green Bay, today's the warmest day of the year thus far, but we have even warmer conditions in store for next Sunday. I'll talk about that in a sec, but winds pretty blustery out there. These will die back a bit as we head on into tonight. Dew points very comfy out there. Instead of the upper 60s like what we saw yesterday, much more into the comfortable category for the area. So a cooler start to the work week, though. Tomorrow highs will only be in the lower 70s, and then dry weather through Wednesday before some more rain and storm chances later this week on Thursday and Friday. But we got a little bit of a disturbance here that'll bring that chance for a few storms up to the north for tonight, but back behind it some cooler air, and that's going to be moving on in for tomorrow and Tuesday. Lows tonight dipping down into the 50s. Tomorrow not going to be as warm. Highs cooler along the lakeshore, 70s, lower 70s further to the west. And then as we head on into Tuesday, maybe just a few degrees warmer. Temperatures generally in the lower to middle 70s for highs. Here's a look at Skycast as we go through tonight, that chance for a few storms. Tomorrow morning, we'll start off with some clouds and fog that'll come off the lake, but that should move on out for tomorrow afternoon. Mostly sunny skies on your Monday. It'll be windy as well and cooler. And then as we head on into Tuesday, more quiet weather, lots of sunshine in store for Tuesday, some pretty pleasant conditions, and we'll watch a system to the west that'll eventually bring us some rain chances later this week. And then looking at the weekend, could see some of the hottest weather yet this time next weekend. Some spots could get into the 90s. We'll talk more about that coming up tonight at 10. But tonight, 56 degrees, maybe a few storms. Then for tomorrow, morning clouds, then turning mostly sunny, cooler and windy. Your extended forecast looking like this. A little bit of a cool down for your Monday and Tuesday. We start to warm things up by the middle of the week, and then we'll have some storm chances Thursday, cooler with clouds and rain on Friday. And then a big warm-up, some steamy weather in store. It's going to be not only hot on Sunday, but also very humid.
You know, I'm glad it's like this now as opposed to last night. That's all I'm thankful for.
Yeah, the storm's not going to be as widespread, but we are going to watch that very closely.
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday looking pretty cool, too.
Looks pretty good.
All right, well, thanks so much, Matt. Well, still ahead, NBC 26 Live at 5. Coaches getting a few pointers from the veteran ones coming up more after the break.